welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am here to talk to you about the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar and Spice palettes. I did a couple of shorts, and on the Spice palette, I asked you guys if you were interested in a full review, and a few people said yes, so I thought, what the heck, I might as well just do a full review, and I'll do it on both of the palettes. So I will have timestamps below so that you can skip around on the video to the part that you want. So let's go ahead and start with the Spice palette, because this is the one that you guys said that you were interested in a full review on. Okay, so here is the Spice palette in all its glory. Look at how it shimmers. It is so pretty. Now, I said this in the shorts videos, but these shimmery shades are a little bit tricky. You've got to be really careful with them. The easiest to work with is that like pinky peach golden shade. That is really pretty. This one is the second easiest to work with, and this is the one that gets everywhere. The mattes are great. They do have quite a bit of suspended glitter compared to her regular mattes. She does put that suspended glitter in mattes. If you don't like that, you know, you might not like this palette, but it doesn't really bother me, and I don't think that it really affects the wearability or the blendability of the shadows. Okay, so let's go ahead and get swatching, starting with the first row. These are all mattes. This one does have suspended glitter, and there's also suspended glitter in the taupe shade. Here you go. This is terrible swatching. Sorry, guys. It really is not a bad shade. I know that my swatch is not doing it justice. Here we go with the glitters. Gotta be really careful. I almost just like press into that. See how much you pick up. They're like not very hard pressed into the pan. The pinky peach one is okay. Those pretty. They're so pretty. I don't know why I'm doing this on the back of my arm. It's really an awkward position. Okay, last three shades. And then this is the only like regular shimmer in the palette. There they are. And on the arm. This really is a very pretty palette. Just looking at the swatches, I'm like, oh, yummy. So I do really like the color story of this palette. I wish that they had like one brow bone highlight type, like beigey off-white shade. I know for a lot of people, like this one would probably be that, but I like something that's like a little bit lighter than my skin tone. So as you can see, like the color story in here is really, really pretty. I do wish they had a brow bone highlight type shade. Any palette that doesn't have one of those, I'm going to complain about that, because I just really like to have an off-white or white kind of matte shade to put here, or to use like as a base for all of my eyeshadows, because I'm really fair, and I like to have that something that's lighter than my skin tone. So this doesn't have that, but the shadows all perform really well. Except for the glitters, they do what a glitter does. And these are loosely packed glitters. So you do have to be really careful. I don't find that it's easy to, if you want to use the glitters, the way that I do it is to just very carefully pat on my eye, and I'll just do like one shade like this, and then use a pointed brush and do just a little, or do my pinky in the inner corner. I have tried to use these glitter shades as like outer V type shades. Doesn't work. It just makes a huge mess. I actually tried that this morning, had to redo like my whole eyeshadow look. So I don't recommend that. But the colors are really pretty. The shadows are good quality. Again, you're just going to have that glitter fall out, so be careful. Okay, moving on to the Sugar palette. So pretty. This palette makes me think of winter and like wearing a white fuzzy hat and a cozy scarf and sipping hot chocolate next to a fire pit with snow all around and people skiing. I wouldn't be the one skiing. I would be watching people skiing. But like all cozy by the fire in your jacket and your hat and your cozy scarf. And it's winter and you just want to look like all done up and sparkly like the snow. That's what I think of when I think about this palette. It's so pretty. It's so like ethereal and magical, and look at that. So pretty. So we've got kind of the same thing going on in this palette. We've got a row of mattes. We've got some mattes in here with that suspended glitter. Again, doesn't really seem, in my opinion, to mess with like the ability to blend it or anything, or the performance. We got glittery shades in the middle that you've got to be really careful with, especially the white one and the blue one. The pink one, again, is more firmly packed, so it doesn't like get everywhere. And then this purple shimmery shade. So this is not a glitter, this is a shimmer. It's a light purple, but you can build it up. I think this is really pretty. That's actually what I have on my eyes today. And then on top of that, I have the blue glitter. But again, this is the second time I did my eye look today because it got messed up with all of the glitter everywhere and I had to like redo my face makeup and everything. So be careful with those glitters. And then we have these last three shades. Now in this palette, these two shades are pretty dry, especially this one. It's so pretty with that gold green reflect, but man, it feels like sandpaper. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these swatches. Oh, they're so buttery. So buttery. Love them. These are like my favorites to use just as a regular everyday look because let's face it, that's really what I usually do. Oops. I went backwards. Sorry, guys. Okay, so sorry about that. I went backwards. There's the third shade, the second shade, and the first shade. Now this pink is like almost my skin color, but I really like it just as an all over shadow before I do everything else. Okay, next we're gonna get into those glitters. Watch out. You can almost, just like the other one, you kind of just press on it like that and you'll pick it up. Pink one, harder pressed, so works a little better. Blue one, this one actually arrived like kind of poofed up, like not broken exactly, but yeah, sort of, just because it is so glittery. So really pretty. There's our silvery shade. Oh, so pretty. The pink and the blue. Oh, they're so pretty. I love this type of color. I wish they were a little more firmly pressed. That's just my preference. And then the last row, we're gonna do these three. There's my favorite purple. Love this shadow. You can just put this with nothing else and it's just a really pretty like one shadow look. And then there's that one. So really pretty. It's probably so dry because of all of that glitter in it. And then this one's pretty dry too, which I mean, I do find with colors like this, they're often drier and a little bit patchier than other shades. There we go with that beautiful purple. Again, this is a light shade, but you can totally build it up. It doesn't feel like it's weak. It just feels like that's the color, like it's a light shade. And then there is that glittery shade. It swatches really well. But when I've tried to use it in like the outer V, it's just been kind of patchy. And obviously that one's pretty patchy. But I love the color story. Just like the other one, I love the color story of this palette. It's really pretty. Okay, so overall, my impressions on these palettes, I really like these palettes. I was very excited about them. I'm glad that I bought them. However, I don't like them as much as the original Modern Renaissance sultry mini palettes or the even older ones from the Norvina collection. I have that one that's like, it's got green and yellow and orange, and I still have that and I still use it and I love that palette. and I love the Sultry and the Modern Renaissance, and I love the little Soft Glam, which is a little bit different packaging, but those are my ride or die like favorites. These I like, but I don't think they're ever gonna get that like holy grail, I have to have it status. But again, as I've said throughout this video, glitter is not really something that I have a lot of experience with or like prefer. I prefer shimmery shadows and matte shadows, but not the ones that are like a looser glitter formula, because for me, that's just like a little bit too much work and you can really make a mess. I like to do my face makeup before I do my eye makeup. You really should do it the other way around with these palettes. So it depends what your preferences are, what kind of shadows you like, but they are good palettes and I would recommend them if you are interested in the color story, if you're really excited about the glitters. I think they are beautiful. So what do you guys think? Do you like these palettes? Do you think you're gonna pick them up? Have you already picked them up? What's your favorite shade? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. That's it for now. I look forward to talking to you and I will see you next time. Bye guys.